So California has a massive deficit that was just referenced, tens of billions of dollars. And California Governor Gavin Newsom said that's why he vetoed the bill, that this would have taxed an already limited budget, since there are so many illegal immigrants in California. And the whole country suffers from an illegal alien crisis, but California has the largest percentage of them. Are you impressed, Tom, with what Gavin Newsom did in vetoing this bill?
I had no idea Gavin Newsom was such a centrist. He actually doesn't want to hand out houses to illegal aliens. It's unbelievable the bar is this low that Gavin Newsom can run around and crow and be proud of the fact that he's vetoing this bill, and he's getting all sorts of national attention for it. He seems to think he's very savvy when he does this, and he is, very willing to engage. He comes on Fox News. He did that, debate on Hannity and things like that. So he loves kind of doing this because, of course, he's running for president in 2028, and it's just amazing that we can, as I said, the bar, it's as low as it can get, and the idea that, are you for illegal immigration or are you against it? Well, I'm against giving them houses.
Well, related to that, Donald Trump coming out with this radical position of not giving massive loans to illegal immigrants to buy new houses is not that, that's pretty standard viewpoint, probably held by a lot of Americans. But a lot of people are saying that Gavin Newsom is doing this because he has his sights set on the presidential election in 2028. Now, a lot of Democrats have supported this generous housing loan program for illegal immigrants. Nancy Pelosi came out and said it was part of the American dream. It obviously passed both houses of Congress in California with overwhelming Democrat support. So why do you think he needs to run away from this if he wants to run for president?
Well, here's why. And in full disclosure, I reported on this story this week for the channel, and I started digging into it and learned, Molly, that there was a pre-existing program that they tried this back in June, minus the illegal alien part, just for low-income, first-time homebuyers. It went bankrupt in 11 days. California's finance department put that out in a statement, and yet even after the finance department put the statement out, Democrat senators and state California Democrat folks voted for it. It defies. So maybe to give Newsom the benefit of the doubt, he was like, hey, why did you send me this when we just learned we can't do it? Now we're going to add more. But on the larger picture, I think Tom's right. This has got 2028 written all over it because, nothing says attempt to cross our border illegally than a free house. Zero money down, up to 150 grand in down payment. I'll take that deal. And on that 150 grand, how many of those do you think are going to pay that back?
And Lisa, it's not just about 2028. It also seems like it's about this presidential election as well. In 2020, when Kamala Harris was running for president, she was very open about her desire to decriminalize illegal border crossings. She wanted definitely government programs to fund health care or other things for illegal border crossers. And how is she going to deal with this issue in the coming debate?
Well, it's challenging for her. I mean, because we've seen, and she's the borders are, right? So she's overseen all of this. But we've seen the numbers completely flip on this. We've seen polling where the majority of Americans now want mass deportations. I mean, think about how far they have come since when Donald Trump was in office, and all we heard was, how terrible he is for wanting to enforce the border. Now that's what Americans want because it's unfair. Right? You've got Americans putting groceries on credit cards, but then we're supposed to put up illegal aliens who came to this country who shouldn't be here in the first place, and that's what we should spend our taxpayer dollars towards. It's totally unfair. But of course he wants to run for president. Look how much he debased himself after the Trump-Biden debate. He went on MSNBC, say you go home with the one you come to the dance with, and willing to push the party line. But I think it's just challenging. I was totally unimpressed with him in that debate against Governor DeSantis. He has too many issues in California. You've got nearly 1 out of 3 Californians living in or near poverty in the state. You've got a multi-billion-dollar budget deficit. You have the highest taxes, or some of the highest taxes in the country, failing public schools, homeless crisis, crime crisis, housing crisis, as we're talking about. The list goes on. You have hundreds of thousands of Californians fled the state during COVID. So I just don't know how you run on that record. And we've seen his approval ratings and job approval ratings crater in the state, even in a liberal state. So I don't know what case he can make, to be perfectly honest.
We now know, by the way, where the red line is with Newsom, because under him, the illegal aliens have free health care. Because of his watch, they now have free health care in California, but can't have the house.
Well,
so you can go to the doctor, you can't have the keys to the new front door.
We'll see how that goes in California.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.